I'm the Irish guy, and so this video is sponsored by Manscaped. I mean, come on, it's the summer, right? Well, don't look out the window today, but try and go down the beach looking like a hairy oaf, and I'm pretty sure you'll have distressed mothers begging the lifeguards to make you leave. Honestly, walk around with hair sticking out of your shorts, you know, like a 22-year-old Hagrid, and honestly, strangers are going to be throwing their ice cream cones at your face. You'll very quickly be banished from the beach as if you're Shrek on a register. But don't worry, the great people of Manscaped can stop you ruining your summer and or life. No longer will you be a pariah forced to hide in your house on account of looking like an ungroomed sloth. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Why is the Irish guy talking to me about pubic hair? But please, stifle your vomit. I'll get back to slagging off Jack Grealish in a minute. Manscaped has their Performance Package 4.0 to keep you looking nice and tidy. I mean, there's 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. I mean, that's the population of Croatia, so they can't all be wrong. Go to manscaped.com and use the code IrishGuy20 for 20% off. Inside this packet, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer and also the Weed Whacker, which sounds like Michael Corleone if he was a gardener. But no, it's an ear and nose hair trimmer. There's also Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold everything. I mean, the Lawnmower 4.0, it features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents due to their advanced skin-safe technology. It's got a 7,000 RPM motor and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when you need a more precise shave. Oh yeah, and it's waterproof, so you're not going to electrocute yourself in the bath unless you decide to do all this while making toast in there. Don't do that. There's also 2 free gifts in the Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. I'm sorry, what? So go on, 20% off plus free shipping when you use the code IrishGuy20 at checkout. You'd be stupid not to do this. Hello, I'm the Irish guy, and right, today I'm going to find one strange player that has 100% not been linked to your club yet and suggest that your team buy him this summer. This is a warning. Some of these suggestions will make you think that I've got lasagna for brains, that I've just spent last night getting probed by ET in the shower. Sure, a lot of you will think I've gone temporarily insane, as if I'm an old man who spends 5 hours a day screaming at mice. But lads, trust me, these outside the box weird signings would actually be great. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Olivier Giroud. Yeah. Of all the strikers I could have chosen, Arsenal fans will react to this one as if Santa Claus had just told them they're getting a cabbage for Christmas. Let's be honest, during his 250 games at the Emirates, most Arsenal fans used to speak about the existence of Giroud as if he was a hardened cyst on their bum. They dumped this man 4.5 years ago. These fans would surely sooner let a dentist rip off their jaw than agree to buy this man back when he's 35, right? Well, I'm sorry, but somebody put some respect on the name Oli Giroud. Since leaving Arsenal, he's won the World Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League, the Champions League, oh yeah, and just scored 14 goals for AC Milan as he won Serie A. Oh yeah, and he's gonna wind up France's record goal scorer before Kylian Mbappe catches him. You don't play 112 times for France if you've got the first touch of a milkshake. I mean, to me, Giroud's got a brilliant first touch anyway. And next season would be one hell of a backup striker to have on the bench in case Eddie Nketiah winds up playing like a pissed up leprechaun by Halloween. Honestly, you could do a lot worse. Aston Villa, Ben Foster. Alright, hands up. How many Aston Villa fans would actually be excited by the prospect of signing Ben Foster? It's probably like me suggesting you drink a cup of pig sweat. But listen, you could do worse. Let's not forget, your current number 2 goalie Robin Olsen is still a Roma employee, so just draft in Foster on a free transfer. Yes, I know this man screams future CBBS presenter. Honestly, I just know he's gonna spend his 40s doing adverts for Peppa Pig. He's the next Tim Lovejoy, but he's also a 39-year-old decent shot stopper who will happily play backup to Emiliano Martinez. Sure, I mean, it might get a bit annoying on away trips when he's shoving a vlog camera into Tyrone Mings' cereal, and I can imagine that by March, if Steven Gerrard hears the phrase frigging legend one more time, he might actually start stabbing people in the face. But still, as a number 2 goalie, it's a good shout. Bournemouth, Nemanja Matic. Looking at Bournemouth's squad right now is like looking at an overpopulated orphanage. Christ, look, there are so many forgotten footballers in there. They even have the likes of James Hill and Robbie Brady on the payroll. What Scott Parker needs is experience. Christ, look, the Bournemouth chairman would be happily rip off his nose to have Scott Parker, the player, in midfield, because they need some steel in there. So go out there and give Nemanja Matic a fat paycheck. Yes! This could be like the QPR disaster all over again, when they quickly realised the likes of Rio Ferdinand and Park Ji-sung were now actually a couple of past pensioners with the durability of snowmen made of milk. But Matic is only 33. I think he could do a job. Brighton, Andy Delort. Yeah, if you're a Brighton fan, being offered Andy Delort probably sends a shiver up your spine. Let's not forget, he's a Wigan Athletic flop. 0 goals in 11 matches when they got relegated to League One. I mean, do a vox pop in Wigan about what they think of this French centre forward. And honestly, it'd be like asking Scousers what they think of the Queen, or like asking Joseph Fritzl's kids what they thought of their dad's cooking. I mean, read the room. You're probably not going to get glowing endorsements of his homemade shepherd's pie. But I'm sorry, you know who else was in that failed Wigan squad? Scott Parker, who's a current Premier League champion with Man City. The right back was James Tavernier, who's the current top scorer in the Europa League. Oh yeah, and their centre half just happens to be an £80 million Man United captain, even if he is about as sturdy as that wheezing penguin off Toy Story 2. Delort is also a League goal machine. 19 goals for Montpellier last season, and this time out, 18 goals for Nice. He's 30 years old. Chuck in a £15 million bid, because he's better than Neil Maupay. Chelsea, Patrik Schick. The warning signs were there. Last summer, Patrik Schick was the star of Euro 2020, picking up the golden boot and banging one against Scotland for 50 yards. And yeah, we all sneered at him because he looked like Willian. I'm sorry, but last summer, that is when clubs should have taken him for Bayer Leverkusen. They didn't, and he's now just scored 24 goals in 27 Bundesliga matches. He's outscored Erling Haaland. Listen, he's 26. Chelsea need a striker, yes, and I know Leverkusen bought him to replace Kai Havertz in 2020, so I'm guessing for them, selling another one to Stamford Bridge, this would feel like having your lungs ripped out of your chest. But still, Thomas Tuchel, make it happen. Crystal Palace, Giovanni Simeone. This is surely the most random pick so far. I'm telling Crystal Palace they should go out and pinch Diego Simeone's son. It must be tough for Giovanni. Christ off, his dad is the success story in the family who gets all the attention. Everyone just ignores his kid. I mean, it's like if Brooklyn Beckham was a left back for Stoke. Nobody would really care too much. But this fella, he's actually pretty good. I mean, the Cagliari president must feel like biting off his ball bag, because last summer, he clearly thought that the 25-year-old Simeone was about as useful as an Easter bunny made of cheese, because he allowed him to move on loan to Hellas Verona. Again, this is the equivalent of him sticking his face in a fire, because Simeone just scored 17 goals to finish 9th in Serie A, while Cagliari relegated? Lad, this man has a contract for a club in Serie B. Convincing him to move to London to play in the Premier League under a footballing legend from the same era as his dad, it would be like inviting a homeless man to your birthday party. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have other plans. Stick Simeone as the spearhead striker, surround him with midfield ballers like Ebereki Eze, Wilfried Zaha and Michael Olise, and trust me, he'd be a golden boot contender. Everton, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Frank Lampard needs to perform surgery on his midfield. Honestly, it's been about as inspiring as soggy Cheerios. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is a man who's been linked with a move to England for years, and it's never happened. But lad, he's a Serbian midfielder who scored 11 goals for Lazio last season. If there is money to spend for Everton this season, then Aussie, they need a big marquee signing. If Farhad Moshiri can find one of his traditional £50 million checks again, then this could be the player for Lampard to build his team around. Because honestly, the alternatives in that midfield, the likes of Andre Gomez or Allen, probably make most Everton fans feel like puking up sick. Fulham, Marko Arnautovic. I'll admit it, I thought Marko Arnautovic was done. When he quit West Ham for Chinese football, I thought this fella just poured acid all over his career. I assume this is a man who, while living in Asia, probably just spent lockdown eating pizza, chicken wedges, and half a bottle of Pepsi every day. And so, when he returned to Serie A via Bologna, I thought we were about to watch a fat Teletubby waddle about with the motivational drive of a pencil case. Instead, 15 goals last season. And right now, he's even linked to Juventus. Yes, Arnautovic, the former troublemaker at Stoke. Listen, Fulham need a maverick attacking talent to replace Fabio Carvalho. So putting a creative spark like Arnautovic playing beside Alexander Mitrovic in a second striker role, yes, there will be neck tattoos everywhere and they'd look like a middle-aged and dubs, but those two could keep you up. Honestly, Marco Silva, yes, you'd have to handle someone with an ego on par with Katie Price, and he probably does kiss the mirror 3 times before breakfast every day, but still, in this attacking Fulham system, I reckon he'd score 10 goals next season. I mean, if the alternative is persisting with Bobby Tate Cordova-Reid up front again, then I'd imagine Fulham fans would sooner let a seagull bite off their tongue. Leicester, Martin Terrier. So Leicester need a Jamie Vardy replacement, right? Go out there and bring in 25-year-old second striker Martin Terrier from Rennes. I mean, he just scored 21 goals in League One, and so going forward, having both he and Patson Daka fighting it out for a starting place could be a genius move. Brendan Rodgers, Fork out a £30 million bid and get on it. Leeds, Michael Obafemi. I think it's time for Leeds fans to accept that you need to move on from Patrik Bamford. If you want to place your survival hopes in his wooden body again, then sure, go ahead. But I think we've realised that's about as healthy as praying that Harry Styles releases music that doesn't make you want to vomit in your hand. Bamford is a 28-year-old crock, so Jesse Marsh needs a centre forward. And I would imagine that me suggesting you sign Michael Obafemi from Swansea probably makes you all hyperventilate into a sock. But last season, 12 goals in the Championship. Chuck in a £15 million bid and get him to Ellen Road. Liverpool, Domenico Berardi. Okay, so right now, Liverpool fans are frothing at the mouth over potentially signing Jarrod Bowen from West Ham. Lads, West Ham are a club charging £150 million for Declan Rice. So good grace. Now that Bowen was nominated for PFA Player of the Year, you just know they're going to slap him with an £18 million price tag, even though he's not some world marketable superstar. No, he's someone who they bought from Hull and who'll go to his grave with less England caps than Carlton Cole. Instead, why not go out there and buy Domenico Berardi, a 27-year-old Italian winger, but 15 goals and 17 assists in Serie A this season. Overall, this is a man with 127 goals and 85 assists in his career. This man is absolute magic. Can you imagine what Jurgen Klopp could do with him? Man City, Wilfried Zaha. Do it. Okay, I'm at that stage now where I just need Wilfried Zaha to get a transfer. I have thought this man was an absolute baller for years, and him tying himself down to a 5-year contract at Crystal Palace was idiocy. Honestly, if he was given the right coaching, I think this guy could have been another Raheem Sterling. This man was always one big move away from becoming a superstar. It's getting to a stage now where he turns 30 in November. Honestly, I know this doesn't make any sense really for Man City to want him, but I would just love to know what he would do in a team who dominates possession of the ball. Give him absolute license to roam and just attack the opposition. And I think Zaha would be one of the best players in the league. Man City, go on Pep, just take him under your wing, even for just 2 seasons. I just need to know, what is Zaha's ceiling? Man United, Fikayo Tomori. Manchester United need a new centre-back. Like you wouldn't believe, Fikayo Tomori is a man who should be playing at the heart of Chelsea's defence. Good grace, he'd been on their payroll since 2005. Instead, he was dumped last summer and has now just won Serie A with AC Milan. This man is a defensive rock, and to think he was nearly signed by Everton. I mean, he was disappointed the move broke down at the time. Now, he's probably dancing around his room, because he's just won the Italian league in a dressing room with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Someone who was doing that when Tomori was 7. I reckon a partnership of Rafa Varane and Tomori would be immense. I mean, this man has the potential to be a future Manchester United captain. And considering Chelsea once moulded a childhood Man United fan in John Terry into a Chelsea legend, this would be a nice symmetrical revenge. Ozzy, chuck in a £60 million bid and get it. And lads, it wouldn't even be the first time Tomori's replaced Harry Maguire, because he did that at Hull in 2017. Go out and make it happen. Newcastle, Neymar. Do it. Why not? I mean, yes, this makes utterly no logical sense. Good Christ, Neymar agreeing to move to wintry, cold Newcastle and take football advice from Eddie Howe? Surely there's more chance of catching Brad Pitt sharing a hot tub with Susan Boyle, right? But there is a sliver of a chance. I know that you guys are targeting sensible, realistic transfers right now instead of getting carried away with the cash. But apparently PSG want to sell Neymar this summer, and every takeover project needs a marquee arrival. Because look at Man City, they are a fantastically sensible, well-run club, but even there, their brief moment of weakness with Robinho, just absolute madness to get some attention. Honestly, can you imagine the excitement of the Geordies when Neymar walks through that door? Watching him and Alisson Maximin in the same attack, it would be like staring directly at the sun. That would be mouth-wateringly delicious. Go on Newcastle, just leave your brain on the coffee table and just go out there and break football. Get Neymar to Newcastle. I mean, surely he wouldn't take the whole thing seriously. And yeah, within 2 weeks, he'd probably be found in the Greg's toilets, getting off with one of the fame-hungry Binsoft Geordie Shore. But still, just make it happen. Nottingham Forest, Harry McKirdy. Why not? Yes, Harry McKirdy might be one of those footballers who has a punchable face. And yes, he was chewed up and spat out of Aston Villa after 8 years on their books. But he's a 25-year-old winger who's just exploded with 23 goals for Swindon Town this season. One of which was against Man City. Yes, I know it's a risk signing a player from League 2, but there's a kid with talent and a personality. You just know he used to do vodka shots with Jack Grealish. It's a risk, yes, and jumping up 3 levels into the Premier League could expose him as being a brain-dead mop, but it could also be a genius £10 million move. Go out there and do it. Southampton, Andreas Weimann. Yeah, Southampton fans will look at this suggestion and feel like punching me in the mouth. Andreas Weimann, the former Derby County flop, but lads, he scored 22 goals for Bristol City last season. Tammy Abraham did that in 2017, and guess what? He now has a £100 million price tag and playing for one of the GOATs of the game. Weimann is 30, yes, but he has scored goals in the Premier League for Aston Villa. Yeah, this might be stupid, and maybe he does actually have the talent of a slice of dog food, but still, I think Southampton could do worse. Tottenham, Iago Aspas. Yeah, this is mental. Iago Aspas is a 35-year-old striker who was arguably one of the biggest Liverpool flops of all time. But I'm sorry, who else wants to come to Tottenham to play backup to Harry Kane? Nobody. It's why a few years ago, you were pleading with Saido Berahino to come, and just 2 years ago, Jose Mourinho was sniffing around Troy Deeney. But Aspas, forget the Anfield disaster. He's a technically intelligent striker with 134 goals for Celta Vigo, including 18 last season, offering fat wages and the promise of Champions League football off the bench. And I reckon Antonio Conte could do worse than have an absolute goal predator waiting in the wings. Honestly, this is a genius move. West Ham, Memphis Depay. So Barcelona apparently want to get rid of Memphis Depay, but he's still a good player. And Christ love, giving David Moyes a toy like Depay to play with. This guy would be the Buzz Lightyear of the West Ham squad. Talented, flash, but if Moyes can get through to him, then you've got yourself a Maverick match winner. And West Ham is a club who've had these sort of players before. Joe Cole, Carlos Tevez, Dimitri Payet, Marko Arnautovic. Indisciplined ballers, but when they were good, they were great. Depay would take this team to the next level. Chuck in a £20 million bid, and I reckon he's yours. Wolves, Jared Deulofeu. Wolves fans remember Jared Deulofeu for breaking their hearts in an FA Cup semi-final, but lads, this man was supposed to be some forgotten dish rag now playing in Japan, right? Nah, 13 goals and 5 assists for Udinese last season. This guy is technically superb. He'd be one of the best dribblers in the Premier League. I think Wolves should cash in on Adama Traore, and yeah, replace him with Deulofeu in a £20 million move. Honestly, why not? Anyway, that's it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What strange signing do you want to sign? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.